Hello, it's day 187, and I want to talk about the plateau. When you first start a new diet, it's really exciting. You start to change the way you eat and the way you exercise, and the pounds just melt off. Those first couple weeks are so encouraging. The scale just constantly trends downward 3 pounds, 4 pounds, sometimes even 5 pounds in a week, depending on how heavy you started. But as time goes on, that weight loss will taper off until eventually you're doing at most about 2 pounds a week, sometimes 1. And if you go even further still, if you keep dieting, it will taper off even more. Some weeks you won't lose at all, and at the best you might lose half a pound, until eventually you reach the plateau. If you have dieted in the past, you know what the plateau is. The plateau is, in fact, one of the most talked about things in diet and fitness. It is the wall that you hit after a certain amount of time, where no matter what you do, even if you're doing things exactly the same way, even if you're doing exactly the right thing, you just cannot come off that pound on the scale. The scale is just stuck, or even more frustratingly, it goes up. During my most successful period of dieting, I was losing about a pound a week, and I went from 230 pounds to 200 pounds, and frustratingly enough, I reached the plateau right at 200 pounds. No matter what I did, I couldn't break through. I couldn't get to Wonderland. I never did see the number 1 as the starting number of my weight. And this was so frustrating for me. I changed the way I was eating. I shaved off 200 or 300 more calories a day. I started exercising longer during my workout periods, and still I couldn't get my weight to go down that 1 more pound. And in fact, it started to go up again. I became so frustrated, in fact, that I let the diet fall to the wayside. I was so frustrated that I stopped that diet. I figured, you know what, whatever, 200 pounds, that's fine. I can just maintain here. But nope, my weight started to creep back up. Once I was no longer on that heavily restrictive calorie counting diet, I shot back up to about 230 pounds. And I would go so far as to say that with intuitive eating and the bad habits that I still have, that I'm still clinging to, I have reached a plateau right now. My weight has not really budged off of this 1 pound either side of 227 that I've been at for about 2 months now. But I have realized that I would rather stay at this heavier weight than cycle down and then slowly gain the weight back. And this has been really confusing to my dad. When I told him that I would rather stay at this heavier weight than lose weight and gain it back, he was really confused by that. He didn't understand. He's the kind of person who thinks that any weight loss is good weight loss. And if you just lose it, even if you only lose it for a little while, at least you lost it. But as I've been focusing less on weight loss, I've started to think more about how I feel. When I weight cycle, it makes me feel really bad, not just physically, but also mentally. I feel like a failure when that happens. Every regained pound makes me just feel like crap, and I just don't want to do that. I will say that at my current weight, I'm not perfectly happy. I do think that I need to be a little bit lighter. I'm still not sleeping great, and my joints aren't bad like they are when I'm really heavy, but they're not good either. I get stiff very quickly. If you're currently in a weight loss plateau, I would go so far as to say that you shouldn't make any changes at all. You shouldn't try to break through it like so many of these diets encourage you to do. You should probably try to go into a maintenance phase. Yeah, you might not be at the magic number. You might not be at the perfect goal weight. You might not be the exact size that you want to be, but it's better than weight cycling. It's better than that horrible feeling of losing it only to regain it and feel gross afterwards. Even if you only lose 10 or 20 pounds, even if you're trying for 90 or 100 pounds, you're doing a lot better than most dieters if you can keep it off. Even that little amount of weight, if you can keep it off, that is such a huge accomplishment that nobody ever talks about. In other words, be kind to your body. It knows what it's doing. It knows what it's trying to accomplish by keeping you alive. It might not do things on your timetable, but timetables mean nothing when it comes to fitness.